Hi guys, Matthew Woodward here, and today I'm going to explore the top search ranking factors of 2013. You will learn that backlinks are not the #1 ranking factor, and Google are currently undergoing a fundamental shift in how they rank websites, possibly the biggest change since the introduction of backlinks. We're going to take a look at the top ranking factors of 2013 and beyond, as well as drill down into how each of those affect the search results. I'll wrap it all up with a summary of what you should be doing in 2013 and beyond. Everything in this tutorial is purely based on data and not opinion. Remember that data does not lie. Search metrics are the data source for this, and they have monitored 10,000 keywords tracking huge amounts of backlinks, social signals and rankings. They are some pretty big numbers, but that's 5.3 billion backlinks and 19 billion social signals. They then use a Spearman correlation model to measure the results of that data. First of all, let's take a look at the top ranking factors based on that data. Interestingly, you can see that of the top 8 factors, 7 of them are social signals, which play a much stronger combined role than backlinks. This is the biggest fundamental shift in how Google ranks sites in the last decade. Think about that. Backlinks are still important though, and are the third most influential factor, but they used to be the main factor. So, for the very first time in search history, Google +1s have the biggest impact on rankings above backlinks. In the graph below, you can see a clear correlation between the top 10 and total +1s. What is interesting in this graph, and all the others you're about to see though, is the difference in rank 1 and number 2. Facebook shares, comments and likes combined are equally as important as backlinks according to the data. Again, can you notice the huge drop between rank 1 and number 2? Our trusty old backlinks are still important though, and have a strong correlation in rankings. Again, we observe a big drop in the number of links between rank number 1 and number 2, and this trend continues in the coming slides. Pinterest pins also play an important role. I was surprised to see just how much impact they have on search results given it's such a new social network in comparison to the others. And last but not least is Twitter, and it seems a #1 rank site is tweeted an awful lot more than rank number 2, as seen with the other ranking factors. It's also worth looking at some of the on-page factors. Although these aren't quite as important when you consider Google +1s have a 0.4 impact and backlinks have a 0.34 impact, getting the basic on-page factors in place is something that is in our control. The key things that you need to consider are, in general, shorter domains and URLs rank better than longer ones, and subdomains are slightly harder to rank than main domains. Placing the keyword early in the title is 4 times more important than having it in the domain or URL, and having the keyword in the domain or URL used to have an impact of 0.11 and 0.04, which has now been reduced to just 0.03 and 0.01. Including a meta description, H1 tag and a H2 tag all have a positive correlation, and you should include your keyword in the meta description, title and body of the content. It's also worth noting that keyword density is not important anymore. Let's also take a look at on-page content, which is something else we have great control over, and it provides a perfect ranking foundation, although some areas are more important than others. The key things to consider are longer content ranks better. You should aim for a minimum of 600 words, but I would encourage 1,000. Try and include relevant images and videos where possible, and don't add external links that use a keyword you want to rank for. For example, if you want to rank for how to start a blog, don't add a link to another website with that anchor text. You should also create internal links from other pages with keyword focused anchors. So find other pages on your blog and add internal links with the keyword that you want to rank for to that page. You should also link the page to itself with your target keyword. I also wanted to go over the backlinks in a bit more detail with you to extract some general guidelines from the data. The key things to consider are the quantity of backlinks is important. The more you have, the better. This is the main backlink ranking factor. But quality is also important. Getting links from sites with traffic help more than others. You should be diversifying anchor text wildly. 40% of your links should include keyword variations. For example, blue widget, best blue widget, blue widgets, widget, widget review. Use brand, URL and stop word anchors like click here for the other 60%. Sites that rank well tend to have a balanced mix of no-follow links, diverse keyword and generic anchors. So let's start looking at how we can put it all together. First of all, you need to change your mindset. Google has fundamentally changed how it ranks websites over the past year, and you need to evolve with that. We're going to see social signals play a much stronger role over the coming years, and while backlinks are still very important, I wouldn't be surprised to see less and less reliance on them in rankings over time. So it is important you create a diverse mix of social signals and backlinks. It's time to evolve your approach to SEO, but don't worry, it is easier than you think. First of all, you need to realize that social signals and backlinks aren't the main ranking factors. Great content is. Great content is a seed you plant to attract social signals and backlinks. If you publish sucky content that adds no value or doesn't help people, then it won't get shared. It is critical that you invest time in creating content that is engaging and helps people solve their problems in one way or another. An easy way to create great content is just by selecting a specific topic and solving 5 problems the average Joe faces with that topic. Take a look at the content creation tutorial which is included in this video package for more details. If there is one thing you can be sure of though, producing great content is an investment as well as a future-proof SEO tactic. So what is the best way to rank in 2013? Well, first of all, fine-tune your site and make sure it is optimized to drive social signals. Every visitor offers you the potential of a social share, which means higher rankings and more traffic. See the separate tutorial that covers this in more detail. Next, you want to create the very best piece of content on the web for your target keywords. Again, there is a separate tutorial for this, but in general, find out what people's problems and worries are and help them out with your content. See what other content is available on the web and improve on it. Once you've done that, you can start engaging your target audience directly with the content promotion and Twitter traffic tutorials. Not only will this bring you traffic, but it will also drive social signals and relevant links from quality sites. You should also use the free Rank Cracker software to replicate your competitor's backlink profile. We know the top 10 have good link profiles because they are currently ranking. Replicate those to create a level foundation of links to your own site. You can get Rank Cracker free from my blog if you don't have it already. Last but not least, leverage your link profile further using tiered link building. So that wraps it up. That is how to rank a site in 2013 and beyond. Make sure you check out the other tutorials for more detail and how you can get started today. See ya! Hi guys, Matthew Woodward here, and today I'm going to teach you about essential on-site quality signals and why they are so important. I'll also show you how to add them to your site easily to get a quick boost in rankings and a much higher click-through rate from the search results. So let's take a look at some of the different on-site quality signals we can incorporate easily. Now, the first one is authorship, which I'm sure you've heard a lot about, and it makes search results look like this, and it's very easy to set up along with your Google Plus profile. The other rich snippet you might be familiar with is reviews, where you get a star rating appearing in the search results. Again, that's very easy for us to add in, but there are a whole bunch of other rich snippets that you might be able to use that you might not know of. So you can also have people, and you can say what area they're in and what their job title is, and scroll down here and you can see that data there. Or you can have product rich snippets like this one here, and if we take a look at the data down here, you can see it pulling that in, and down here the price, stock availability, ratings and reviews. which produces a result looking like this. But then you might run like eBay, where there's a price range for the same product, so you can include that there along with your ratings and everything like that. If you have a software application, be it an Android app, a Windows app, or whatever it is, we have rich snippet markup for that. So if you are a software developer or sell software, you should consider including this. Then we have event markup. If you do events, you can actually list the events directly in the search results. Again, this is all very easy to do. The music rich snippet, if you have any tracks or sell music, you can list the tracks here. And this is a bit more complicated to set up, but again, I have a simple solution for that. Recipes are another good one here. You can say how long it takes, how many calories, rating, reviews, feedback, and pictures, and everything like that. A really nice integration for anyone that runs a site that publishes recipes. And then you can see my example here. We have a combination. We've got the review rating here, the authorship markup here, the breadcrumb trail here, and if we scroll down you can see all of the data that it's extracting there from my blog. And right at the bottom here we have the video data, which is automatically inserted by Lead Player, which is pretty handy. And if we take a look at these search results here, you can see it. Here's the rating and the review and the breadcrumb here right in the search results. And if we take a look at the one for my name, again, here you can see it's actually pulling in my latest post from Google+, and I managed to add a big red start button. Imagine what that does for click-through rate when people are searching for my name. And here's an example. If you look at, Red Hot Chili Peppers' greatest hits, this is all done with rich snippet markup, and it's a nice way to grab attention. Other things that we have to integrate to add on-site quality signals, we have Twitter card data. So you can add Twitter tags here, which means that when the link is shared on Twitter, this is what is shared. Instead of the link in the default tweet, you get all of this extra information in the image and everything like that. So that gets a real nice boost from your tweets. Facebook Open Graph data. This allows Facebook to pull out all of the information it needs, and a lot of these Open Graph titles and descriptions are starting to be used by other engines, so it's nice to have these in. Then we move on to some of the more basic things. Having Google Webmaster Tools set up, having a sitemap submitted, and a few other bits and bobs that we need to take care of. A lot of people that are doing SEO are scared to use Webmaster Tools in case, they get caught out by Google and things like that. To be honest, that's just an urban myth. All of this data that Google gives you when you sign up to Webmaster Tools, they already have. By verifying your site and your ownership of that site, they're just sharing data with you. It's not like they're learning anything else more about your site than they already know if you use it. So feel free to jump in and sign up and get things set up. Also, Bing Webmaster Tools, often overlooked by a lot of people, but a really nice way to boost your traffic from Bing, and it also has quite a nice little inbound link checker, so you can export your links and things like that. Other simple quality signals we need to think about: an About Us page or an About Me page. A little bit about yourself and who you are and everything like that is a nice quality signal to send to Google. And a Contact Us page, again, pretty standard for sites and providing on-site quality signals. So they're all the different on-site quality signals that we can take advantage of, and let's start looking at how to do them all. So let me introduce you to the Yoast WordPress SEO plugin that makes life easy for us. It takes care of Google Plus authorship and publisher setup, and adds all of the Twitter card and Facebook Open Graph tags for us. With a little tweak, we can easily add breadcrumb-rich snippets and verify Google and Bing Webmaster Tools in a couple of clicks. It has a built-in sitemap generator, and if you use other SEO plugins like Platinum SEO or All-in-One, it has a one-click import to import all of your settings and data. So let me show you what difference this actually makes. This is a blog I set up for another tutorial, and if we look at the rich snippets at the moment in the structured data testing tool, you can see it doesn't look great and there's not really anything integrated at the moment. So first things first, let's come to plugins, add new, and we are going to install the Yoast WordPress SEO plugin. If we just do a search here, WordPress SEO, and this is the one we're looking for. Install now. Okay. And once that is installed, you want to activate the plugin. And then it's just a case of coming and clicking on SEO over here. And then click on Do Not Allow Tracking here. And the first thing you want to do is click on each of these, which will open in a new tab, and register for each. Get the verification codes that you need, enter them in here, and click on Save Settings. Once you've done that, you can move over to social. Now in the social area, you get asked to provide your Facebook page URL and also a default image to use on the front page when your home page is shared on Facebook, along with a default description. Now these work better if they are a square image, and you need to put the image URL into here and also into here. And I've just populated some random data in there for you quickly. So we can hit Save Settings. And you want to make sure that this is ticked up here. Next we can move to Twitter. That's easy. Tick the metacard data and add your Twitter username into here, which I'm just going to add there. Hit Save Settings. And then we can move over to Google+. And it wants to know which author to use for the home page. So I'm going to say the admin, and which is our Google Publisher page. Now, when you set up a Google Plus account, you have a personal profile, which is a person, a real person, i.e. the author. And that author will be writing for a website, which is the publisher. And the publisher is similar to a Facebook page, but just a Google Plus page for your business or website, which might have multiple authors. So create a Google Plus page and come back and enter the URL here, like that, and then hit Save Settings. Next, we need our Google Plus URL, and we need to add it to our user to set up the authorship. So if we go to Users, All Users, and find the admin, which is your main profile, click on Edit. And down here there is a field for your Google Plus profile URL, not your Google Plus page, your Google Plus personal profile URL. And that just goes in there. You can also add your Twitter username here if you want. I'm just going to add it in there, and a link to your Facebook profile, which is optional. And just scroll down here and hit Update Profile. We also need to come across to our Google Plus profile, and we need to come to About here and add our website to the Contributor To section down here. So we hit Edit, Add Custom Link, just hit the URL in there and give it a name, and then click on Save. And this is on your Google Plus profile, your authorship profile that you're adding this to. So once you've done that, we can move on. You also need to add the link to your website from your Google Plus page. So we've just done it from the authorship profile, the Google Plus author, we also need to do it from the Google Plus page. Now I know my authorship and page profiles here look pretty much the same, but I assure you this is a page and it is different. If you come to About, you can see you get different fields here, and down here, instead of being a contributor to, you just have links to your website and so on. So I'm going to edit this and temporarily change it to blog sanity, just for the purpose of this tutorial, and hit save. Next, back into SEO, and this time into XML sitemaps. And in here you have a few different settings. I like to exclude tags and post formats, and ping this here, and then click Save Settings. And you will be able to get the link for your XML sitemap here. Right click on it, copy link address, now go into Google Webmaster Tools and Bing Webmaster Tools and submit this sitemap for your site. Now we can add the breadcrumbs and come over to internal links here and just tick to enable them there, and as a separator I like using the arrow, and I'm just going to use that as home, and text only to show in breadcrumbs for posts. We're going to use a category and just hit Save Settings. Now we need to make some tweaks to our theme, and if you copy this bit of code, I'll show you how to do it. Now this will output the breadcrumbs, and we want them to output somewhere within our post, and I'm going to choose underneath the blog title here. So if we right click and inspect this, we can see that this is in H1 class entry title. So if we come to appearance, editor, and most themes will use a single .php file to render out, but if we go into this, that H1 code that we're looking for is not actually there. So the 2011 theme uses content-single.php. So if you open that up, and we are looking for that H1 class entry title code, which is there, and we can match that up there, and then the next one is entry meta, which we've got there. So we can just paste our breadcrumb code in there, hit update file, and once that is done, come back across to our post, refresh it, and we should see it appear. There we go. And that is the breadcrumb integrated. Now you can, if you want, come across here and edit some of the CSS stylings if it's not looking quite how you want it to, but just as a default quick and easy installation, that is the breadcrumb setup. This is what the rich snippet originally looked like, which is bland, and this is what it looks like now. And you can see here we've got the authorship integrated, the publisher authorship markup here, the default sort of WordPress stuff that gets included anyway. We've got information about the article from Facebook and such things. We've got the breadcrumbs here, and this is what the search result looks like now. So we've added a whole bunch of high quality on-site signals, and let's take a look at how to add some more. If you want to add the review rich snippets like I do on my blog with this box here, you need the Author H Review plugin. So if you come to plugins and add new, enter Author H Review, and we can install that. And once that's done, activate it. Now jump into the Author H Review settings. And in here you can change the width of the box and change things a little bit. So I'm just going to put a little width in there and make the button color red, for example, and align it, I don't know, left. Hit save changes. Now, when you come to posts and edit your post, you have some new options available to you. And down here, you have some settings that you can insert, and I've already populated them. So you just enter the product name in there, the author name, the URL or your affiliate link, the price if there is a set price for it, quick review summary, and select your star rating. And when you update the post, we can view it quickly. And there we can see it just in here. And you'd probably remove the image and make it look a bit better, but you get an idea. That's how I add it on my blog. And then if we come to the rich snippets tool, paste that in there, hit preview, and there you can see the star ratings. But what about if you want to add other rich snippets? The other plugin that we can use is called All-in-One Schema. Let's hit the search there and install that. Okay. Activate the plugin. And now if we come to our post and edit it, we have a different box underneath here, and this allows you to choose all sorts of different types of rich snippets here, from reviews, events, people, product, recipe, video, and you can just insert your information directly into this box here, and that will render out as a rich snippet. So if we look at the product one, for example, quickly, I just put in some dummy data here, update the post. And when that's done, come across to the rich snippet tester, preview, and we can see there we've got the rating there and the review and price. If we just come and have a look at that, what that actually does to the post is it adds a little summary box at the end, and then users can rate it as well. So let's jump back a minute and let's change it to something else. We've got the review in here as well, similar to author H review, just adds that review snippet in quite easily. Let's take a look at software application. Let's rate it, give it a price. Let's do something like Buzz Bundle, Windows 7. Do it at buzzbundle.com, and I've not actually tested this, so let's see what happens. Click on update, come back across here, preview the snippet, and there we go, it has pulled those details in for us. So that's how you add the other types of rich snippets here: item reviews, events, people, products, recipes, software applications, and videos. As you can see, it's really easy to do, and it will actually add this information into a box for you at the end of the post. The colors of this box are configurable, I believe. If we jump back to the rich snippet settings here, you can change the colors here that are used in that box. Let's take a look at video sitemaps. So if you use videos on your blog and you embed them from YouTube, whether they're your own video or somebody else's that you've embedded, you should create a video sitemap. And it's really easy to do. If we come to plugins and add new, and we are looking for XML sitemaps for videos, and it's this second one with the rating here. Hit install now. Okay. Activate the plugin, and then come to Tools, Video Sitemap. You can tick to include the video length, hit Generate Video Sitemap, and then if you right click and copy this link and go into Google Webmaster Tools and Bing Webmaster Tools, you want to submit the sitemap link, and it generates something that looks like this. And if you have a post that has a video, I strongly suggest that you add video rich snippet data for it, and that will help it appear in the search results. So you're telling Google both in the video sitemap itself and with rich snippets. But I actually use Lead Player on my main blog, which includes all of that information for me automatically in a rich snippet, so I don't have to worry about anything like that. It just does it, as well as adding in the opt-ins at certain time and the call to actions, in this case my affiliate link. So there you have it. Now you should have a site that has a whole bunch of on-site quality signals, authorship, publisher pages, whatever rich snippet type that you have selected, whether that be a product, an event, a person, a review, a video, everything like that. Also, you have added the breadcrumbs, which really helps with the internal linking as well, so you get the boost from that. And all in all, now you have set up the foundation that you need to appear as a high quality result for Google to rank. So if you have a site that's ranking right now that doesn't have any rich snippet integration on it, go through this tutorial, copy everything that I have taught you and add it, and I guarantee your rankings will increase, your traffic from Google will increase, and your click-through rates will increase. There's no doubt about that. In summary, you want to spend time giving Google what it wants, and then Google will give you what you want. Set up Google Plus authorship and publisher markup. Add Twitter card and Facebook open graph tags. Set up breadcrumb rich snippets, and also add rich snippet data for reviews, videos, software, or whatever it is to your posts. You want to create a normal sitemap and a video sitemap and submit them both to Google and Bing Webmaster Tools. And don't forget to add an About Us page and a Contact Us page. See ya! Hi guys, Matthew Woodward here, and today I'm going to take you behind the scenes of the creation and promotion of the Link Emperor review, tutorial and competition, so you can see how I drive traffic like this to every post that I publish. You are going to learn how I choose which content to produce, how I put it all together, all of the things I do after hitting publish to promote the post, and how to put your own promotion strategy together for your own content. So why did I choose to put together a tutorial and review for Link Emperor and launch a competition at the same time? Well, first of all, there was a request from a user on a forum. On top of that, there was also some other posts on the forum discussing it. And I'd also noticed just throughout my participation on forums that a lot of people had been discussing Link Emperor, asking people's thoughts and experiences. There's lots of people asking how to set it up and things like that, and you can see multiple examples here from all over the web. So I recognise that there was a demand for a Link Emperor tutorial. There's lots of people talking about it, everyone's interested in it. From what I can gather, a lot of people are having great results. So it made sense to follow up with a more detailed tutorial on Link Emperor and how to use it and the best practices behind it and such things. So what I did is I went through each of these threads and made a note of the problems people were facing, the types of questions people were asking, and I used that to form the basis of the Link Emperor tutorial and the different areas and topics that I was going to cover. So all of this provides really good market research and is essentially tells you what content you should include within the tutorial itself.
But I then went the extra mile, and as you can see here, I've got $1,800 worth of Link Emperor credits to give away, which is actually 1 year's access, and you get $147 worth of credits every month to play with. And the way I set this up was I just dropped the Link Emperor guys an email, explained I'd like to run a competition and the sort of mechanics behind it all and how it all fits together, and they were kind enough to donate a prize to give away to the readers. So that is sort of how the post comes together. Why I write it: first of all, we know that there is market demand, and we know that there are people that have various questions about how to set it up. So creating the post that targets all of those things, it's almost the perfect market climate. There's a demand for this type of content, and there wasn't really much else on offer at the moment. And then I decided, because there's a lot of people talking about it, it would make for a good competition prize, because the better the prize, the more people that enter. So that is how the Link Emperor post came about, and why I chose to write it. Now, the other thing I like to do before creating any content is look what other people have done. And if you come here, I mean, you can see my posters here. I'm actually filming this after I did the post. But if you look through, here's the warrior threads that we've just identified. But it's nice to see what other people are doing. So we've got linkemperorreview.com here. We can take a look at this. It's a one-page site, not really any meat to that content, so they're not really a competitor. We've got the Tony McBroom Best Practices Guide, so it's worth having a look through. Again, they're not really any meat to that, just trying to drive people through the affiliate link. So again, not really any competition there. And we can expand our search to Link Emperor Review, and this one-page site is ranking number 1 for now. An in-depth review here from an actual user, so this should have some promise. And you can see here there's quite a lot of meat. You can see the different areas they're covering and everything like that, so it's worthwhile taking a look at that and making some notes. So just build an understanding of what other people have done, and what they've covered and how they've presented it. What did you like about what they've done? What didn't you like? And all of this combined with the knowledge you've learnt from forums and people talking about it kind of gives you the perfect formula to create the definitive best post or tutorial about any given subject. You know, this can be applied to anything. This is just Link Emperor in the internet marketing niche, but it could be about, you know, how to meet new people in a dating niche. You can really apply this to anything. So that is precisely how I go about deciding which post to write, and then exactly how I go about formulating and creating it. So once you have done that and you have published the post, you can move on to promoting it. One of the first things I like to do is get my new content shared on a social network, and I am using the Buffer app to do that, which will post it up to Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn for you. It comes with some handy browser extensions, so you can just come up here and click, and it will automatically pull in all the information for you and which accounts it's going to post to, and you can just hit Buffer. Now, what Buffer will do is it adds it to your queue of posts, and they go out at certain times that you set up in Buffer itself. So if you just hit Buffer, that will go out and publish a post to all of the social networks at the best possible time to publish them to get the most attention. The only problem with Buffer at the moment is it doesn't support Google+, so you need to come across to Google+. And I like to share things on my actual profile page, which is the where authorship is born, along with my actual Google Plus publisher page for the website, which is a bit confusing because they both have the same name. So once you've shared your posts on social networks, you can also do some additional things with Facebook. Now, if we come down here, you can see I shared this post the other day, and in the bottom right corner, you have this boost post button, and you can, for a certain budget, promote that post to appear in other people's news feeds. Now, I tend to do this with nearly every post. Here you can see I've got a running promotion there. I promoted it. It's asking me to continue. Promotion complete there. And I do it on quite a few posts. You can see it again there. Now, you don't get a huge amount of traffic from this, but it does help increase exposure and get those initial eyeballs rolling. And as you can see here, I spent $30 promoting the post, which got me a few clicks and likes and such things. So that is social network promotion and how I go about doing it. First of all, share the page with Buffer, which puts it out to Google+, Twitter and LinkedIn. And then share it manually on Google+, come across to Facebook, and you can boost the post down here. So that's it, social network promotion for your posts. Let's move on. After the social sharing, I like to send an email out to my list, and this is the actual email that I sent out. Now, to do this, I use Aweber, and you just need to click on Create a Broadcast. And a broadcast is a message that goes out to all of your subscribers. You insert your subject here, like this, and then put your email content into this box here. You can test it and send yourself a test email, and always make sure the links are working and that everything is as it should be when you test the email. This is important, never skip that step. And once done, you can just click next, next, set a schedule if you want, save the message, and this will then add it to a pending status, and then you can just click on send now, and it will send that email out immediately to your entire list. And my last email got sent out to nearly 3,000 people. So that is promoting with your email subscribers. And let's move on. Next, I log in to the main forums that drive me traffic, which are Traffic Planet, Black Hat World and Warrior Forum, and come and update my signature to include the link to the new post. So down here we can just change the URL, and we can say win $1,800 worth of Link Emperor credits. Enter now to win big. And hit save changes. And you can see there that my signature is updated. And if we come and have a look at one of my topics here, you will see that the signature link for all of my posts is now advertising the latest post on the blog. So you can do that on Black Hat World. Here you can see I've already done it. And also on Warrior Forum. Now, once you have updated your signature, you can just come into the forums and take a look at some of the new content, start getting involved in all of these threads, and every time you post a reply, there's the opportunity for someone to see your signature link and click on it. So that is updating your signature links, and I am now going to start engaging with some conversation on all three forums. So I am going to pause the video while I do that, but you should move on to the next section. Now we can start going out and actually engaging the community directly with our post. And one of the ways I do that is with Buzz Bundle. You should check out my more detailed tutorial on how I use this to drive traffic to my blog, but let's just do it very quickly here. We can add a stream to the discussion, and we can add keywords for it to find. So I'm just going to type Link Emperor and then Link Emperor with no spaces there. Hit OK. And this will now go out, and you can see here it's searching for dialogues from various forums, blogs, social networks, video sites, Yahoo Answers, anywhere that mentions Link Emperor. It's going to come back and return results. So I'm just going to pause the video while it fetches all the results. Okay, that's done, and you can see it's found a bunch of forum and blog posts. It didn't find any Q&A sites, loads of things from social networks and also YouTube. So what you can do here is you can take a look at the URL where people are discussing it if you want. But you don't even need to go to the URL. You can just scroll through the streams here, see what people are saying, and then you can just hit reply. Type your reply, which might be something along the lines of, you know, hi, about your experience with Link Emperor, and then gently mention something along the lines of, I've got a full review, you know, and there's $1,800 worth of credits to win, or, you know, whatever you're promoting. But make sure you've got an introductory paragraph. Don't just spam your URL, actually contribute to this conversation in some way. And once you've replied, you can just get rid of that and click up here, and you can see all of these different posts talking about Link Emperor that we can reply to. Similarly, you have the same on social networks, and anything you want to reply or comment on, just enter your message in there, hit OK, and it will post it out for you. So I use BuzzBundle actually to promote all of the posts on my blog, and it's always searching for relevant discussions for me to get involved with and link into a tutorial. But I also set up two other tools as well, and they are TalkWalker Alerts and Google Alerts. Now what they do is they will monitor the web for a range of search queries, whatever you like, and send you an email every time it finds a new result. So what we can do is create an alert here, and we can go with Link Emperor. The result type that we want, you can choose between news, blogs, or discussions, which is forums. I'm going to go with everything. Language, English. How often, so you can either get the results as soon as it finds them, or summaries once a day or once a week. I tend to go with once a day. Only the best results, your email address, and hit create alert. And now what will happen is you will get an email every time it finds a mention of Link Emperor on the web, and you can jump in and get involved. The same with Google Alerts. Create a new alert. As you can see, the interface is very similar. Link Emperor, everything. Once a day, only the best results, create alert, and you will get emails from Google as well. And if you take a look here, you can see all of the different alerts I've had for the various terms in my inbox. So using the combination of BuzzBundle, Google Alerts and TalkWalker Alerts, you can actually get a direct route to your target audience that are currently discussing things about your blog post, which is highly relevant to them, and you can instantly drive some really targeted traffic with this method. This is in fact the only method that I have used, along with promoting on forums and signatures, to promote my blog. So that's how powerful it is. I mean, you know, the blog's had a couple of near $10,000 months and is getting 20,000 unique visitors now. This is how I've done it. While I'm waiting for the alerts to come through, I like to visit my home 3 forums, Warrior Forum, Black Hat World and Traffic Planet, and see if there are any relevant discussions that already exist that I can get involved with. So if you do a search for Link Emperor, you can see all of these threads mention Link Emperor in some way or another. So you can go in and add your experience and your knowledge, and you know what the problems I face with Link Emperor, how I tackled them. You know, some people might be asking, how do I set this up? You can go in and help them. So I go through each of the home forums and do searches, and you can see this is Warrior Forum and Black Hat World here. And let me just show you, the actual process on Traffic Planet. So we can start here with a search for Link Emperor. And here are the results, not so many as the other forums, but let's take a look at Link Emperor Your Thoughts and jump to the last page. The last post was made yesterday. And you can see I've already been in this thread while I was preparing the post and warming people up. And here you can even see the Link Emperor guys are involved directly here, engaging with the community, so that's great. And we can just come down here, and I've got a post I've already written, paste that in, hit post. And now everyone is aware of the competition. And you can see my post there along with the signature link that we did earlier on. So you can just go through the forums and immediately look for opportunities to extract traffic. Next, I like to actually use my own blog and old post to drive traffic to my new post. And this is quite often overlooked by a lot of people. But there'll be people that have read a certain post and they will also be interested in the Link Emperor post. So you can update your old posts with internal links to your new posts and keep traffic funneling around your site in that manner. Now, anyone that's interested in this Link Emperor post is going to be interested in any link building service or anything to do with link building, really. So you can use a site search to find posts that you might be able to update with an internal link, or for example, I did a review of SE Slingshot. Now, anyone that buys this service is likely to also be interested in Link Emperor. So what we can do is edit the post, and we can come down to the bottom here, and we can put something along the lines of, you might also be interested in the Link Emperor service, which also provides posts on a private network of sites. And then you can click update. And let's take a look at that. Okay, so it's just that little byline down there, adds an internal link to the post, and anyone that reads this and is reading the conclusion will also have an interest in that. So go through your posts and update any opportunities for internal links that may be relevant. Also, in my example, I actually have a forum here. So if we do a search here for Link Emperor, I have a bunch of posts that I can reply to, but also in here, you can see people say, I have just signed up to Link Emperor on the homepage, blah, 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 blah. So what we can do here is I use a plugin called Thirsty Affiliates for my affiliate links, and if we click on add new, what I'm actually going to do is set the destination URL to be my actual blog post instead of an affiliate link. I'm going to give the link a name, Link Emperor Tutorial, and then auto link keywords. Now in here you can put a list of keywords that you want it to auto convert into links to this destination URL. Now I have hacked this plugin so it only auto links keywords on my forum and doesn't affect the main blog. If you want help doing that, drop me an email and I'll send you the code snippet over. But I can actually put in here Link Emperor, Link Emperor, hit save link. And now when we come back to this forum post and refresh it, you will see that Link Emperor is now linked. When we click on it, we arrive here. Now I use Thirsty Affiliates also to create my actual affiliate links. You can see here it uses /get/Link Emperor, whereas the one we've just created uses /get/Link Emperor Tutorial. So that's an easy way to update all of your internal links. Now, you could use this plugin to actually update the internal links across your blog content as well. I tend to do it manually, but in here you could also add things like link building service. And anytime you've mentioned that term in any previous blog post, it will update with a link to whatever destination you choose. So don't forget to optimize your existing content and any opportunities to link to your new content, and that just keeps people engaged with your blog. Once you have done all of that, you need to set up a regular blog promotion schedule. And this is what mine looks like. So on a Monday, I will post on Traffic Planet and Quora, which is like Yahoo Answers, and also spend an hour in Buzz Bundle. And in Buzz Bundle, I actually have a big list of keywords for all of my posts, so they're all getting promoted simultaneously. Posting on Traffic Planet, my signature's always promoted, and if there's any time to post a relevant link to one of my tutorials, and I will do so if the topic at hand, I have relevant content for. On a Tuesday, I will promote on Warrior Forum, get involved on Google Plus communities a bit, and also work through any of the alerts from Google Alerts and Talkwalker. On a Wednesday, Black Hat World, Yahoo Answers, and Buzz Bundle. On a Thursday, it's Warrior Forum, LinkedIn, and again the alerts. And on a Friday, Black Hat World, Google Plus, and Buzz Bundle. So you need to sort of come up with a blog promotion schedule that works for you. Each day here takes about 2 hours time per day, so you might want to adjust that as you need. Originally, my blog promotion strategy was just literally an hour every day on Traffic Planet, Black Hat World, and Warrior Forum. I'd just spend an hour a day posting on those with my signature links, but since then I've developed into a much more structured approach that covers lots of different traffic sources. So once you have done all of the initial promotion for your post after hit publish, make sure it becomes part of your main blog promotion process and put that together, and you will see traffic grow nice and steadily in no time at all. So in summary, you want to create content that people want by researching on forums to see what problems people face and what others have created. Then, after publishing your post, make sure you submit it to social networks, send an email to your list, update your signature at any forums you take part on, use tools like Buzz Bundle, Talkwalker Alerts, and Google Alerts to engage people directly, search for relevant posts on forums and make helpful contributions, update old content across your site with a link to your new post while setting out and maintaining a blog promotion strategy. See ya!
Hi guys, Matthew Woodward here, and today you're going to learn how to find out which social networks your audience uses and then how to laser target them for improved performance. I'll also take you through some social share button strategies you haven't thought about and how to get loads more social shares from your current levels of traffic. Last but not least, I'll show you a couple of easy ways to keep your audience engaged with you on social media. But why are social signals so important? Well, they're quickly becoming the new link building with people voting for rankings instead of links, and they have a tremendous effect on search rankings in 2013 right now. The Search Metrics team monitored 10,000 terms this year and compared the data to last year's. You will be shocked to see what the top 8 influencing factors are for ranking right now. As you can see, social signals for the first time have taken over backlinks as a main ranking factor. Both Google Plus ones and Facebook shares are either more important or as equally as important as backlinks in search rankings. And this is the top 8 ranking factors, of which 7 are social media signals. 1 is backlinks. This trend is going to continue to grow as Google move to a more social search and driven web. And I do believe that an established Google Plus authorship profile and even other social media profiles will become the new high PR domains for ranking. But how do we know which social networks to focus on? Because it's no good focusing on a social network if our target audience doesn't use it. Let's find out. Finding out where your target audience lives online and which social networks they actually use is pretty straightforward. All you need to do is jump over to some of the more popular sites in your niche that your target audience is likely to read. For example, for my blog, people are also likely to read Search Engine Journal. And we can just come and jump into one of the posts here and take a look at how this is being shared socially. And quite clearly here you can see that people are tweeting about it considerably more than any of the other social networks. So that tends to lead you to think that the internet marketing audience is more attuned to using Twitter than anything else. So if we move on to search engine land, let's see what happens here. Again, this is another big site in the niche. Let's take a look at this and let that load in. And again, we can see here, even though the Facebook button is the most prominent one, the tweets far outweigh the number of shares anywhere else. And here is another example that I've prepared. This one is coming from the SEO Moz blog. A nice infographic here. Again, the tweets far outweigh any of the other social networks, although Google Plus is getting a good look in here. And unbounce, we can see the counts here: tweets beat likes, tweets beat likes, tweet beats likes. And finally, and an interesting example here is ProBlogger. Now they have the Facebook like box at the start of the post and down here at the end of the post as well. The only place you can tweet about the article is here. And even though the Facebook like box has more prominence, people still prefer to tweet it from up here. So we can safely assume that our target audience prefer to use Twitter more than any other social network, and as such that should sort of be our focus. So please do the same for your niche. Look at leading sites and blogs in your niche and see which social networks your target audience are actually using, and once you know what that is, we can move on to the next step. So with everything in mind, we need to come up with a priority list of the social networks we want to focus on. Remember how the different social signals affect rankings and which one your target audience tends to use the most. For example, my target audience uses Twitter, which has the lowest ranking impact, but Google Plus has the biggest influence on ranks. So I decided to go with Google Plus first, Twitter second, and Facebook third, while ignoring all the others like LinkedIn, StumbleUpon, Pinterest, etc. This allows me to lean towards the ranking benefits of Google Plus while engaging people on Twitter at the same time. So, with your priority list in mind, you need to make a few changes to your blog. And if you take a look here, you can see these are in order of importance for me, with Google Plus being on the left because the left one is the most prominent position and gets the most attention. So Google Plus, Twitter and Facebook, which is my order of priority. And if we jump into a post here quickly, scroll down, you can see again here, Google Plus, Twitter, Facebook in that order. And I've recently included LinkedIn and Buffer, but they don't seem to be performing that well, and I'm probably going to remove them to bring the focus back on these three, which I know impact search rankings pretty well. And moving down here, you can also see I have changed the order of them here. And it's important that you do this. This will really help with your conversion. And, you know, imagine my target audience didn't use Twitter and they use Pinterest instead, and I had this set up. It'd be absolutely no good. I find that a lot of people and e-commerce sites are especially bad for this. They just put social sharing buttons on their site just for the sake of having them. They don't really put any thought into where do the users live, which networks do they use, and things like that. So make sure you put these in order of the priorities you've decided based upon what you have found is working in your niche. And if you're an e-commerce site as well, a particular point of irritation for me is putting social share buttons on your product pages. The whole point of the product page is people buy the product. That's the only goal and action you want them to take, and no one shares product pages socially anyway, so just remove them. You're only costing yourselves money. Anyway, let's move on to some of the other tricks that I use to drive social signals that you guys probably don't pick up on. So the first one, which is actually pretty obvious, is where I ask people to share the page in order to get some exclusive resources. In this example, it is to download the video. And how this works is people tweet the page like this, and then the page reloads. I've got a social signal, and they can download the resources that they want to. And this has been particularly effective. If we jump to video 2, in video 1 I just offered a download for the video, but in video 2 I actually put together a much bigger exclusive list for people, and you can see just how many social signals that has driven there. I do that with the viral lock plugin that you can see here. Costs $16, probably the best $16 I've ever spent for the ranking boost that it gives me. And you can also do things like, instead of offering exclusive resource packs for someone to download or whatever you put together, you can use a plugin like this one, which will actually lock out entire bits of content. So you could write the introduction to the post, the first few paragraphs, and then require them to socially share the page to read the rest of it. So they're two really good tricks that are very easy to integrate, so you can start driving social signals today. And they do cost a little bit of money, but as you can see, the benefits are huge. And in fact, here you can see the total number of social shares each of my posts have received here. And these are the Twitter shares, quite substantial numbers, as you can see, and those are mostly achieved with that plugin right there. So let's move on to another trick. Another quick win that we can integrate easily is taking advantage of the fact that once a user takes action once, they will take action again if you ask them to. For example, when someone submits a comment to your site, they are taking an action. And once they have taken an action, they are much more likely to take the next action you take them to. So, when someone leaves a comment, what actually happens the first time they leave a comment on my site is they get taken to this page. And as you can see, all the navigation's removed, it's highly focused, and the main goal here is to get them to subscribe to my email newsletter. But I also ask them to follow me on Twitter, which is the social network I know my target audience uses the most. And seeing as I'm not trying to rank this page with Google Plus signals, this is where I ask people to follow me on Twitter, which allows me to essentially harvest Twitter social signals from them in the future as I post tweets and such things. So, how do we go about taking people to this page after they leave their first comment? Well, first of all, we need this plugin. It's by Yoast, and it is the comment redirect plugin. And then you need to create a page that says thank you for your comment and whatever it is that you want to say. If you want to check out my example, it's at my blog address /thanks-for-commenting, and you can just then publish that page. And I use a WP hide post plugin to hide the visibility of it everywhere, so it doesn't show up anywhere. And then you come into plugins, comment redirect, and you just pick which page you want to redirect to and hit save settings. So anytime someone submits a comment, they hit this page and are asked to follow you on Twitter. playing further on the theory that people will take action once they've taken action once, I also integrate that into the email subscription process, which people can subscribe either in the sidebar of my blog here, in the sidebar here, at the end of posts, sometimes within the posts. But what happens is when someone enters a name and email and hits subscribe now, they get taken to this page, and this is telling them to log into their email and click the confirmation link that they have received, which users will do. Once they click that confirmation link though, they get taken to this page. Thank you for signing up, you're all set, you're on my email list. Now join me on Google Plus and introduce yourself. I love putting a face to my readers' names, and a big add to circles button. So this is in an effort to grow my Google Plus authorship, and again you can see there is only really one action that you can take on this page, and that is to add me to circles. So this is how I extract social signals from every single email subscriber pretty much. This converts really well. And if you have an e-commerce site, for example, a really great place to get social signals from is the thank you for checking out page, the page people hit after they have actually placed their order. You can actually say just thanks for your order, provide the general information that you provide on that page, and then a clear call to action to follow you on the social network of your choice based on your priorities. But once I have actually got their email address, they automatically get sent a follow-up email, and here you can see my email follow-up series here, and if we jump into the very first one that they get sent immediately, you can see I thank them for joining, I establish who I am, I tell them what they're going to get, and then ask them to connect with me on social media. And again, you can see that priority order in place there. So the email sign up process is actually quite a high value process, because not only do I get an email address, I usually extract 1 or 2 social signals from the person at the same time, and it's a nice little trick to use. So let's have a look at 2 more. I also like to include calls to actions within my videos themselves. So if you produce videos, you can actually add little calls to actions that spring up on the screen, much like this one in the video here, asking people to follow you. And in production, I'm going to edit one at the bottom, which you should be seeing appear in this general area. And it's amazing how many people actually go and follow those and go through them. And if you actually have a YouTube account that allows you to link to external properties, you can make them clickable. So when someone clicks on the little third that pops out linking to your social network, they land straight on your profile and are able to add you immediately. So if you are using video as part of your strategy, include those social thirds and asking people to follow you at certain points, and I'm going to include another one here. And then also make them clickable in YouTube using annotations. If your YouTube account can't do that yet, don't worry about it. When you can, and YouTube enables that feature for you, and your account becomes a bit more trusted, you can just go back through your videos and add that annotation over the top. We can also do a few interesting things with our email client, and if you take a look here, you can see the default signature that gets inserted to every email I send. It's branded. It's got a big link to connect with me on Google Plus to grow my authorship, as well as links to my social profiles, again in order of priority: Google Plus, Twitter, Facebook. And it also automatically pulls in my latest post. Now, this signature is really effective. It is on the bottom of every single email that I send, unless it's coming from Aweber, or it's an email broadcast. But if you send me an email through the contact form and I reply, you're going to see this. If I send you an email, you're going to see this. Now, it's really easy to set up. It's called Wise Stamp. And if I just click up here,
and edit the Y stamp. You can see you get a little editor here. What you see is what you get interface. You can put whatever you want in here, and then you can add social icons here, and there are a bunch of email apps that you can add, and it'll pull in stuff from anywhere, but I choose my latest post here, which is the RSS feed app, and you can also add other icons and chat services and things like that. So once your design's complete, you hit save and exit, and that gets added to all of your emails automatically. And I'm actually using the free version to do this, so feel free to jump in and grab that. The second way we can use emails to build social signals is with a plugin called Rapportive. And what this does is, well, I'll just show you. If we type in an email address in here, for example, we're going to use Shoe Monies, it automatically pulls in who they are, information about them, where they're from, what companies they work at, as well as all of their social profiles. So you can easily open these up and add them as friends and such. So you could just click on to Shoe Monies and you can see I'm already following him. And that's another great way to actually build relationships and social signals with people that you are in touch with. Again, Rapportive is a free plugin. You just click that button there and you're good to go. It's as simple as that. So that's two nice ways to extract social signals from just sending and receiving emails that you do every day in your signature here, and using Rapportive and actually adding people there. Last but not least, you should also be filling out your social profiles properly, as you can see here, and also interlinking them so people can follow you elsewhere. So if you've got a Google Plus profile, which you should do because you should have authorship integrated on your site, please see the separate on-site quality signals video for more information about that. But you can add links to your other profiles and even your website on most social media sites. So here it is on Google Plus. You can see it in action here on YouTube right there. And also put some effort into the design. I mean, I'm no designer and I certainly can't use Photoshop to save my life, but I was able to put together some pretty simple social media profile designs that are quite attractive and sort of establish credibility and things like that quite nicely, while retaining branding with my pink and the blue and so forth. I've done it here for Google Plus the best I can, and with YouTube here, and also with Facebook. So spend time going through them, fill them all out, add some information to them all. It makes things much more user friendly and gives you just greater authority all in all. So how do we go about scheduling all of our updates and keeping people engaged on social networks? Well, I like to use something called Buffer. And that currently works with Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and anything that uses app.net. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to schedule when tweets go out at what time throughout the day, and you can do this also for Facebook and for LinkedIn, and also what days they go out. So you can see I've only got Monday to Friday selected, as Saturday and Sunday tend to be low traffic days, specifically on LinkedIn, because it's more business focused and most people don't work the weekend. Now, what Buffer allows you to do is, firstly, when you publish a new post and you install the Google Chrome extension, to share it, all you need to do is click on the button and you can select exactly which networks you share it with along with the message. And if you hit Buffer, it will automatically place it in the schedule, and I'll just do it quickly, to be shared with everyone. And there you can see it has pulled in my schedule for the different networks, and will post them at specified times. So I'm just going to delete those quickly because I've already shared it.
So what this means is that as you're browsing around the web and you find something that isn't necessarily your own post, but you might come across a relevant news article, for example. Let's take a look at this. You can just directly share that with your audience by clicking the button and sharing it. Now, this is a pretty bad example, but if it was a good tutorial or something, you could share it with your audience and automatically schedule it out. And you can just do this on a few different articles that will be of interest to your audience. Now, that's going to generate a bunch of buzz, people replying to you. You know, every time someone shares one of my articles, I reach out and personally thank them. So you'll start getting on the radars of bloggers and getting people replying in the various social networks. So that allows you to engage with them and they'll follow you, and this builds your social authority further and further. Now, Buffer is completely free. It's a really cool little app to use. Unfortunately, it doesn't support Google Plus at the moment, but it's a great way for not only sharing your own content quickly, but other people's content as you go that might be relevant to your audience, that all gives out a good karma. The other tool I use is Hootsuite, and I mainly use this to manage Twitter. Now, this is a paid tool, although the free tool will allow you to manage a couple of networks, no problem at all. But even though I use a premium one, it's still only like $9 a month, so it's not very much at all. And this is really cool. As you can see, there's various columns here, and you can add columns as you want. Connect your Facebook profile, Google Plus, LinkedIn, Foursquare, WordPress, Mixi, and they also have a bunch of apps that you can install as well. I like this tool because it keeps track of all the mentions nice and easy. I know exactly who I've replied to, who I haven't. They also have some pretty cool features, like being able to schedule social updates in bulk, whether that's for Twitter or Facebook or whatever it is that you want to do, or even publish directly from an RSS feed. They also have some pretty cool analytics in here, so you can see how various profiles have grown and how they've dropped and things like that. And if you work in a team, which I don't, you can actually assign tasks to different people. So for $9 a month for the premium version, it's a pretty good tool and really does help with my social media management. Again, if you jump to the free version, that will be more than enough for you to manage a couple of different networks. So that's how to schedule updates and keep people engaged with you. Use Buffer, or you can take these steps and use Hootsuite. So that pretty much wraps it up. First of all, work out where your audience lives online and prioritize the social networks they actually use. Then make changes to the layout of your social buttons based on that. Use plugins to get people to share your page socially in exchange for exclusive resources or to read the rest of the post after hooking them with an intro. If people take action once, they will take action again. So ask people to follow you socially anywhere this happens, after a comment, an email sign up, or even a purchase, for example. Also, ask people in your introductory email while they are still hot if you use an autoresponder, or include calls to actions directly within your videos. Make sure you're getting the most out of your email by adding a signature with Y stamp and Reportive to connect with people you're already talking with. And last but not least, fill out profiles properly and interlink them all. That wraps it up. See ya. Hi guys, Matthew Woodward here, and today I'm going to show you how to ride the success of other people's traffic waves with Twitter. This is a great little tutorial that will teach you how to drive highly relevant targeted traffic to your site and wrap it all up in an efficient, easy to manage system. I'll be showing you how to do it manually or how to automate it. Let me try and explain how it all works. First of all, we find a relevant blog post with lots of retweets and make a list of everyone that shared the article on Twitter. Then we can reply to each of them and introduce our relevant piece of content. It's pretty simple, but it works because we already know the type of content they are interested in. We are reaching out to them in a personal way, and the content we share will help them. However, there is a fine line between doing that and spamming people, so don't go overboard and watch how I do it. First of all, let me share a real-world example with you. On the right, you can see that Josh shared an article about Google Analytics goals, so I introduced him to my tutorial about using analytics to increase traffic to his site. As you can see, he was pretty happy about it, and so were all of these people that favorited my tweets. Let's take a look at the traffic quickly. I started to play with this strategy at the start of January, but as you can see, traffic from Twitter has grown a massive 184% since then. So let's get stuck in with how to actually do it. So let me show you the basics of how this works, and then we're going to move on to building an efficient system to manage it all and keep on top of it. But this is basically what goes on. First of all, you find a popular post that you have relevant content for. So Google's Penguin beginning to flex its muscles. I have a relevant tutorial that teaches people how to analyze their backlink profile, which is what Google Penguin targets. Now we can see 174 people have tweeted this, and if we press the tweet button, we'll get this little pop-up. And this is a default message that every single person is likely to have tweeted. So we can take a copy of that, close that down, come across up to Twitter and hit the search here and put it in quotations so we get the exact search. And now we get a list back of people that have actually tweeted about this. So we know they are interested in articles about Google Penguin, and you could say that some of them will be penalized and the spreadsheet that I'm about to introduce them to will help them out, which is this piece of content here. It's a video tutorial and I give away a free Excel spreadsheet for them. So what we can actually do here is, if you come back to Twitter, you can just reply and say something along the lines of, if you liked that post, check out my free backlink analysis spreadsheet. It might help you out. And we can just copy that there, and we can press tweet and send him a tweet. And you can just go down this list here, hitting reply to people, tweet. And as you can see, we're directly engaging with our target audience on a social media platform with relevant content that will help them out. We're not really spamming them. This is relevant to them, it will interest them, and the quality of the content is very good. This is why a lot of people come back and favorite the tweets and reply and say thank you, because what I'm actually providing is helpful to begin with, which is important if you're going to be engaging people this way. So this is the very basics of how it all works and fits together, and this is a very manual way of doing it, but I'm going to show you now how to create a nearly automated system, how to find the articles to that are being shared on Twitter, and how to get them all delivered direct to your inbox, so you don't even have to go out and do any of the hard work. So let's move on to that. So the first thing we need to do is come up with a list of relevant blogs in our niche that get a lot of retweets on their posts. And you can do that in a number of ways. In the internet marketing niche, we have inbound.org. There's loads of great articles here that get shared that you can click through to and see how many retweets they've got. Or you might find in your niche someone's posted a top 75 blogs in your niche kind of list. You can just do a Google search for related blogs, but what we're really looking for here is this is Search Engine Watch, if we jump into this article here, we can see this has had 338 tweets. So we know that this site and its articles tend to get a lot of retweets. Let's just check another article here. This one's also had over 300 retweets. So we can add this to our short list of target blogs to try and filter Twitter traffic from. So you would just make a note of the RSS feed here, just copy that and copy that into a separate notebook, and then move on to another possible target site. And if we look at Performance Insider, let's click into an article here. Let's see, where's the tweet button? Down here. That's only been tweeted 4 times. Let's check another one. Let's check this one. And that's also only been tweeted 4 times. So you probably wouldn't include Performance Insider in your final list of blogs. But basically, just go through, find lists of blogs that have got articles with lots of retweets, and every time they post, you know, we've got in the internet marketing world, Search Engine Watch, ProBlogger, Search Engine Land, all of those types of sites get a lot of retweets on their articles. So build up a short list of RSS feeds of possible target sites to filter the Twitter traffic from. And once you have done that, you'll have a short list that kind of looks something like this. And I want you to copy it all and come to a website called rssmix.com and paste them into here. Now what this does is it merges all of these RSS feeds into one single master RSS feed. And what we're going to do is set up an email notification, so anytime these blogs update with a new post, we get notified of it, and that is what's going to create the basis of our traffic control panel. So paste them in here, click create. This will spit out an RSS address for you here. Make a copy of that because we will need it again shortly. Now we are going to use if this then that to send us an email every time that master RSS feed gets updated. Now if you've not used if this then that before, it's a great service. I suggest you check out my dedicated tutorial of how I use it to manage my blog and a bunch of other tasks. But let's take a look at how we're going to use it here. So click on create a recipe, and we're going to say if this feed, a new feed item appears in the RSS feed, we want it to send us an email. And here you can change the email template it sends out. At the end of this, I just tag TT Strat on the end because it allows me to easily filter the incoming emails when they get sent. And click create action. Last but not least, you need to give it a name. You can see here's the one I've already actually got set up. And we're just going to call this Twitter Traffic Strategy. And click create recipe. Now let's take a look at what that actually creates. If you look at my inbox here, you can see all of the emails that this has sent to me over the past few days. And I have set up a filter that looks for the TT strat in the subject, and if it finds that, it assigns the label traffic and archives the post so it skips my inbox. So my inbox doesn't get jammed up with all of these posts, and every time I come to do this task, I usually do it weekly, you can just come over here, click on traffic, and straight away you've got a list of posts from all of the high performing blogs that get retweeted a lot, and you can easily scan through this and see if you have got any possible relevant content to promote to the people that tweeted these articles. So if we have a little look through here, there's the article I showed you before manually. Small business social, how to build relationships. I have a relevant tutorial to that. And if we just click through and have a look if this got many retweets, 929 retweets. Excellent. So we can click on tweet. We can copy this line here. Now you can either come into Twitter and do the search here. And we can look at all of the people that tweeted that. I don't know what went wrong there. Oh, there we go. So we can see all of these people have tweeted the article, and I'm going to send something along the lines of this: learn how to find and engage your target customer for profit step by step. And that takes them to this article, which is actually, in my opinion, one of the most valuable articles on my entire blog, but it's one of the least popular. Interesting. So that's one way to do it, but I actually quite like using Hootsuite. It is my sort of communication social media tool of choice, and it's where I reply to all the mentions of people sharing my articles and things like that. And you can just add a new search here, exactly have we done in Twitter. Hang on a minute, and hit the search there, and this allows you to see all of the tweets. Now, why I prefer this method is after you have gone through and replied to these like this, any new people that share it will come up here, and you see here there's a little blue dot. This shows you that it's a new message since you last looked at the search. So you can keep this search column open, reply to everyone, and then anyone else that shares it after that, you can get in contact with them as well. So that's a really nice way of doing it. Now, Hootsuite also allows you, and this is a nice cool way of doing things as well, to avoid the Twitter sending limits. What you can do is hit reply, paste your reply in here, and allow it to auto schedule the message. And this will auto schedule a message to go out when your target tweeter is most active. So you get to sort of bypass all of the Twitter sending limits here. And it's very easy. Just hit reply, paste, auto schedule. Reply, paste, auto schedule. And you can see just how quick and easy that is to do. But the problem with this article is over 900 people retweeted it. So to go through and do this 900 times is going to take a bit of time. Luckily, I've got a solution for that. This is Tweet Marketing Robot, otherwise known as Tweet Demon. It's got nothing to do with Ultimate Demon, that's made by someone else, and for some reason this is known as both Tweet Marketing Robot and Tweet Demon. And this is basically a Tweet Attacks clone, if anyone used to use that. It's pretty much identical, and it is a bit on the pricey side, but check this out. What you can actually do after you've added your Twitter account is come to the @reply @mention generator, and it allows you to search Twitter and get a list of all the tweets and the people that tweeted them. So we can enter our search term in here, and you have a bunch of different options for the search here, but I'm just going to search for people, English tweets with that exact term, and we're going to scrape users that have more than, I don't know, 10 followers. And we can just hit fetch results, and that will go out now and scrape a list of all of the people that tweeted that article. So I'm just going to pause a video while it does that. Okay, that's finished. You can see we've got 888 results here. Now, some people like to tweet articles twice, so we can remove duplicate users, bringing us down to 803. And now all we need to do is reply to all of these people. And to do that, I have prepared a spun reply in the best spinner. And you can get some previews of it here and what that looks like. And I have saved that to a TXT file. And we can just come over here and go on generate reply. We can select all. We can open our text file. And we can type, we want to generate an actual reply. And you can get a preview of the tweets there just to make sure they make sense and are spun correctly. And you can see I've also shortened the URL of a few different services here and also spun that in. And once you're happy with that, just click on generate selected, send to tweet manager. Click OK, and then also click add to replied list. This means that we will not target these users again with a reply, so we only ever reply to one user once. Once that's done, you can come to modules and the tweet manager, and you can see here all of the tweets that are scheduled to go out. Now you've got a few options up here. And I tend to set it to post every 1 to 2 minutes, and you can change that to hours here, and you can either just generate a few records, or you can generate the reply on all of the records at once, which is what I'm going to do here. And you can see the schedule for everything going out there, and once you're happy with that, just click start posting from web, and this will now go out and send a tweet with a link to your highly relevant helpful article to all of those people automatically. So that is how to do it all with TweetDemon. And you can see how this is a much quicker and more efficient way of doing it, but the software does cost $299. So, you know, if you can't afford that, just do it with the normal Twitter search. Hootsuite is another great way to do it really quickly and allows you to take advantage of some auto scheduling to get extra impact from your tweets. Or if you really want to do it on scale, then it's probably worth investing the money in something like this. And here you can see straight away it's posted our first tweet. Now, the only problem with automating it, sometimes you end up tweeting someone you don't want to, and in this case I accidentally tweeted to Dwayne Forrester, who is the head of Bing Webmaster Tools. Thank you, Michael, for pointing that out. I tweeted him my tiered link building tutorial. Now, that's not the best person to be tweeting your link building tutorial to, so just be wary of, if you go about automating it, you can cause problems sometimes. I just finished editing the tutorial when I saw these emails come in, and these are from Twitter, and people have actually already retweeted and replied to some of the tweets that we sent out during the tutorial. So the first one here, this actually got retweeted to 588 followers. This one got retweeted to 1,207 followers, and he also replied to say thank you as well. So that is the real power of engaging people on Twitter with helpful, relevant content. So to wrap it all up, all you need to do is get a list of RSS feeds from blogs that get a lot of retweets, merge them together into one master RSS feed with rssmix.com, set up a service like ifttt.com to send you an email each time the feed is updated, and don't forget to set up your email filters, and then look out for articles you have helpful or relevant content for. When you see an article, reply to everyone that shared it on Twitter, either with the manual Twitter search or Hootsuite, which are free, or go all out with TweetDemon. So what are you waiting for? Go and grab some traffic now. See ya.